Okay, so a little bit about me. My name is Bethany. I have been in Monate since March 2020, so almost 3 years. And I'm a mom. And basically, I got here because I was at a very low place in my life. And when this opportunity was presented to me, I saw the foundation for everything that I needed to get to who I wanted to be in this life. So over the 3 years that I've been in this business, it's been a transformational journey, and it's brought me to where I am right now, which is very aligned with this group and the people that I've met. So I'm very, very happy to be here. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to Ashley to tell you a little bit more of why we're here.
Thank you, Bethany. Hello, everyone. I'm Ashley, and I'm so excited just to be hosting this call and this training for you all as a collective. We really wanted to just showcase what it's really like being Black in the beauty industry. So again, thank you for joining us for this real and raw conversation. The big question here is, how do we bridge the gap? And how do we make, groundbreaking changes within the beauty industry? So the industry as a whole, it definitely has made improvements, but there is so much more left to do. And that starts with all of us coming together and truly understanding what it's like to walk in our shoes. And not only us as Monat, as a company, coming together as a whole, but especially us, the Black community, coming together and advancing one another, not only in our businesses, but just in our life in general. So our mission is really to be global. And that's more so when we say the BC Collective, more to come on that, because we're just getting started with our whole brand. But what better way to kind of intertwine everything than partnering with Monat? We're already in this business. So now it's just elevating that, right? And putting that on another bigger scale, because we all know Monat, we're the Gucci, we're the Louis of the beauty industry, the luxury. Okay, so drop a 1 in the chat if these products have genuinely been the best that you've tried. Yes, okay, perfect. So a little bit about me. I'm 31. I'm single with my fur baby. I'm from New Jersey, the New York area. I actually started with Monat as a VIP back in 2019. And then I joined the business in March 2021. I was definitely one of those potentials who was skeptical about the products. I was skeptical about the business for all the reasons, we talk about daily. But I'm a seasoned recruiter as my day job, my 9 to 5, and a big chunk of that recruitment work was done at Sony Music and then most recently Meta. And right now, currently, I'm doing the full-time entrepreneurship thing and just seeing where it takes me in 2023. So now I will pass it off to Ariane.
Hello, everybody. I am so happy to be here with y'all tonight. Just, sharing our vision, sharing this movement, and just getting to experience this with y'all. So, quick brief about me. Prior to this business, I was a waitress, working all hours of the day while also attending college full time for my bachelor's in psychology. And I felt like I'd finally be happy once I graduated and get a good job. And that's literally what everyone told me. But I was unsatisfied. I wanted to enjoy my 20s. I didn't want to have to be, going to school, going through the motions and all of that stuff. And truth is, I was numb and my circle of influence did not help. We would go to the bar after work or, roll up, whatever, to ignore the reality of our life. And I knew I wanted more, but I wasn't sure where to start. So then, scrolling on Instagram, I found an opportunity that could not only change my situation, but change the direction of my life for generations to come. So getting right into it, Maddie, if you would go to the next slide, please. Thank you, ma'am. So I'm going to be talking about representation in the beauty industry and specifically Black representation. So I'm going to start with some stats for y'all, getting right into it. The beauty industry is a huge part of everyone's lives, women especially, and Black women even more. We got the wigs, braids, sew-ins, natural hair baddies, silk press baddies, and that's just hair. We also love our makeup too. And beauty products are promised to enhance our lives. We are sold on the improvement of our lives. In some shape or form, these products are supposed to help us to achieve something that we were searching for when purchasing, right? So, in the last 10 years, Americans have spent 500 billion on beauty products alone, and it's expected to reach 73 billion in the near future. Um, so we're in the right industry, right? Black Americans make up a huge part of those numbers. And in 2021, we as a group spent 6.6 billion on beauty products, and that accounts for 11.1% of the US's total beauty market. Although Black people make up a large part of the spending on beauty products, the representation in the beauty industry just isn't there. Black people don't often see themselves on commercials, billboards, or showcased in the beauty industry. There may be a token Black girl or two, but that is not the only problem. While representation is important, sometimes it would be nice just to go to the store and find something close to your shade. I am chocolate, as y'all can see, and I don't even bother going to the drugstore or grocery store for foundation, because 9 times out of 10, the darkest shade offered is nowhere close to my melanated skin complexion. It is frustrating. However, most of us have simply accepted that that's the reality. I just go to the beauty supply store because there it feels like home when it comes to shopping for things specifically with the Black consumer in mind. I know I can find my shade. I know I can find different styling things. I know I can find my edge control and everything that I need. I know it's going to be there. Some stores are trying, and you may have a small ethnic section in the corner of your drugstore or grocery store, but they don't carry enough variety for us. They try, but when it comes to Black people, there are so many different beautiful shades to consider. Black consumers are 3 times more likely to be dissatisfied with their options for hair care, skin care, and makeup. And that is why we are here, to educate the public on what we need and how we as people within this industry can make it favorable for all. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass it off for the next portion.
Thank you. Okay, so this topic right here, diversity and inclusion, it's something that I'm really passionate about. I essentially in corporate America, I kind of got thrown into it as my specialty. And as you guys know, in every corporate company, it's needed heavily. However, it wasn't really until 2020, unfortunately, when everything happened with George Floyd, when companies really started creating actual departments to really focus on D&I. So the more work that I did, the more I kind of became sensitive, seeing how other Black people are treated. And it kind of affected me more than it affects myself, being a Black woman. So there's constant disrespect, there's constant microaggressions. And at one point, I kind of found myself just kind of accepting it, like this is the norm, like this is not going to change. And when we talk about disrespect and when we talk about microaggressions, it happens even within the Black community. And I want to put a big emphasis on that because most time, we see it's like, it's white versus Black and this and this and that. Like, no, that's not what it's about. It's about treating each other with the respect, that they deserve. So within the Black community, for example, I'm Black, but I'm Caribbean, right? So my dad is from Jamaica. My mom is from Guyana, which is right next to Brazil. Sometimes people will be like, oh, like Ghana, oh, so you're African. And I'm like, no, I'm Guyanese, I'm South America, but whatever. Anyways, I would get those type of comments from other Black women and they'd be like, oh, well, your hair isn't even really like a Black girl's hair, so it doesn't count. Or I can't take suggestions from you because your hair is more like a white girl type of hair. So that's when I talk about that it happens even within our own community. And then when we want to talk about our men, unfortunately, some Black men will talk openly and they'll be like, oh, they're more attracted, or they prefer white women because they're more beautiful because of their long straight hair, and they think that Black women might be ugly with their short hair, or we're just angry all the time. So you know what I mean? So the more research and the more conversations that I've had over the past few years, I just decided that I have the power and the influence, as we all do here on this call, whether you're Black or not, and we really as individuals can make that change around the entire narrative. So I'm going to talk about the three subjects kind of briefly: culture, leadership, and buying power. So for culture, as you guys already might know, we are the originators, we are the creators of fashion, of the beauty trends, and it's very disheartening, right, when we see our culture being used incorrectly and recreating and added a twist and calling it something else, only to take full credit of that trend and then sell it to the masses, including us Black folk, for 3 times the price, right? So our culture constantly becomes a new trend, especially these days with TikTok. And before that, before anything was a trend, it was looked at and called ghetto, right? So I want to talk more so about the difference between culture appropriation and culture appreciation, just to put it a little bit more into perspective. So I'm going to read it here from the slide. Culture appreciation is appreciating another culture in an effort to broaden their perspective and connect with others cross-culturally. And then you have culture appropriation, right? So that takes place when members of a majority group adopt cultural elements of a minority group in an exploitative, disrespectful, or stereotypical type of way. So that's really the difference when we talk about that. And we know our culture is beautiful, and in the Black community, we now understand our worth. But the question really is like, what are we all doing to uplift the Black culture? And what are we all doing to uplift the Black culture together, right? So celebrities and the media, they play a huge role, especially music, and Denzel, the special guest, aka my brother, he will touch a little bit more about that at the end of our call. But when I was recruiting for the music industry, like, I fully staffed the entire D&I department, and the work that they did was truly, truly amazing for all of the underrepresented communities, right? But I specifically implemented firsthand an HBCU partnership with Sony Music. And it was honestly like the first time in the history of the music industry on a global scale for something like that to be done. And as we all know, so much of the history, the Black community, it lies within our HBCUs, which stands for historically Black colleges, if you didn't know. But looking back, I low-key, I wish I went to HBCU, because if you went to HBCU on the call, drop a 1 because it looked lit. I still haven't been to a homecoming yet, so I don't know, maybe I'll make that happen this coming up fall. But anyway, artists, they really have the biggest impact in the world. We all love music, we all listen to music. If you don't know anybody, from a can of paint, you will connect with them over a song. And we really idolize these artists and these celebrities, and sometimes for really good reasons and sometimes for not the best reasons. And it really starts with the big players. So I wanted to touch on that because the influence is really, really big. So now getting into leadership, right, brings me to my next point. Leadership is also very crucial, and I'm going to speak more on the corporate front. Essentially, when it comes to leadership, no matter if you are in corporate America or on a business call like that, or just in your life, everyone has that true leader inside of them. So I'm going to talk about a little statistics specifically for the Black culture and when we talk about discrimination. So 53% of Black mothers said their girls experience hair discrimination as little as 5 years old. I'm going to say that again. 53% of Black mothers said their girls experience hair discrimination as little as 5 years old. Next one. 86% of Black teens have faced discrimination by the age of 12. 86% of Black teens have faced hair discrimination by the age of 12. Next one. 100% of Black girls in elementary school in majority white schools mention they face discrimination by the age of 10. So that's 100% of Black girls by the age of 10, right? So it starts at a young age and it continues as us Black girls and even men too. But when it comes to hair, obviously, you know, we have hair coming down like this, so it's a little bit different. But when you enter, I guess, your adulthood, right? When you're in corporate, when you're in the workplace, Black women are 1.5 times more likely to be sent home due to their hair in the workforce. Like, it's wild. It's absolutely wild. I've experienced it myself. So because of that, the Crown Act was created in 2019. I don't know if you all have been familiar with that. It's essentially a law in California that was created to kind of protect Black women from getting fired from their job, because yes, that's a real thing. So last thing that I wanted to touch on before I get into the buying power is in corporate America, exactly what those stats look like. So the bullet point here says from entry level to the C-suite and from retailers to beauty houses, only 4 to 5% of all employees in the US beauty industry are Black. That's a pretty low number. And that goes all to say what Ariana was just talking about in terms of the representation. So last thing for me here, the buying power. You know, beauty really comes from the inside versus the outside. It's all love. It's all about feeling love. So imagine, right, as a Black consumer, when you don't see your shade and you don't see what works for you and what matches your complexion on all the fronts, just imagine those internal feelings. It's really not a good feeling, right? Everyone wants to feel included. So even though, and listen to this stat, Black brands make up 2.5% of revenue in the beauty industry. So that means out of all of the products that are targeted to Black people, that's 2.5%. Now, Black consumers are responsible for 11.1% of spending. So that means that while we only get 2.5%, we're purchasing 5 times as much. So the combined spending by all Black households has increased to 5% annually over the past 2 decades, and it has outpaced the growth rate of combined spending by white households, which is 3%. So while we are the minority and always deemed last, statistically, right, we're spending more, we're buying more. And, you know, we really do hope to see a shift soon. And we all here today on this call, you know, really has a big impact on that. So now I'm going to pass it off to Bethany. She's going to wrap us up, and then my brother will get into his performance. Oh, wait, you are on mute still.
Okay, perfect. So, going now into just talking about clean beauty and Black people as consumers as a whole. It kind of starts back to relaxers. I'm sure maybe, hopefully not, but most of us can relate to getting our hair relaxed at probably a young age. I know my hair was relaxed at a young age, my sisters, all of that. And it was just kind of like a norm, I think, in just our community as a whole. Especially going back from like the 90s to I would say like mid 2000s. I stopped perming my hair around like 2015, I want to say, but it was a norm. I enjoyed getting my hair relaxed. It was kind of like a thing of, you know, it was your hair is too nappy, your hair is too hard to deal with, we're gonna perm it. And it was just society made it normal. It was just a normal thing to do. And then like I said, around 2015, around that area, it just became normal where Black women were like, look, we're embracing our natural hair. We're making it normal for us to wear our natural hair. And it was just like this big transition started happening. And I remember my sister, she started transitioning first, and my mom, and then I started to do it. Yeah, too thick. My sister's hair is super, super thick. So we were always getting perms, but my hair started breaking off. It just came to a point where we were seeing what it was doing to our hair. And so we started riding the wave. Everybody was like, we're going natural. So we did it too. And it was, a difficult process because as Black women, our hair is very important to us and how it's seen and how we feel about it. And I think it just opened up an inward and outward transformation with embracing our natural hair. But even if you decided to keep your hair relaxed, because I think now it also is a thing of, we just want you to love your hair no matter what state you want to have it in. If you feel more comfortable with a relaxer, if you like it natural, we just want you to love our hair. But now, after this big transition, we're kind of stuck with having no clean options for our hair after transitioning, or we have very few options. So I know we can relate to having that very small corner, like Ariane was saying, in the store, like the multicultural section. And I just remember being in Walmart and being in that small section and feeling like, okay, these are the products for me. These are what my choices are. This is what's best for my hair. This is what I use. And not even realizing that those options, the very few options available to me, weren't even doing any good for my hair. They were the ingredients in it weren't clean. But, you slap products in a section that say, this is for you, this is for your community, or even slap on, this is Black owned and this is, you know what I mean, made by your community, it's for you, and not knowing what's going in it can also do damage and kind of leave a sour feeling as well. And so moving forward to the European standard, being introduced into Monat, it taught me so much about my own hair. Ingredients, I never really paid attention to ingredients before being introduced to Monat, and in realizing what's not good for my hair, what was I actually putting in my hair, the damage that it's causing. And being in Monat actually taught me more about like things like porosity and my curl pattern and how to actually take care of it. And so we know the European standard, they ban 1,200 plus chemicals. And here in the US, they only ban 12. And that's a huge difference. And we know here in Monat, we follow the European standards. So that's a huge deal. And it really makes it, to me, the best option for Black clients and our hair. And so with that being said, with the, lack of options, the bad ingredients putting in, finding out some Black owned products really aren't Black owned, or that they're putting ingredients in there that really aren't good for our hair, we're left with kind of a lack of trust. We're kind of hesitant to try new things. We're hesitant to learn about new products. And I know probably everybody on this call has dealt with, reaching out to a Black potential VIP client and them, or even an MP, and them kind of just being like, that's not for my hair. That's not going to work for my hair, or, that's more for white people, or this or that. And having to get over that curve of educating and really being like, no, look, these ingredients and this, and the whole comparison that we know that, we have to do and put extra care and nurturing into our Black potentials to really educate them and open their eyes into options that are better for them, because of the lack of care that's has been put into what's available for us, even though we are the top consumers. So as a whole, us in Monat, we, by not educating ourselves and our potentials on the lack of options available and really nurturing our Black clients and potentials, is a disservice to ourselves, because we as Black people are willing to buy, but because of the lack of trust that has been just implemented throughout the years when it comes to our hair, it just takes a little bit more work. But we as a whole want to change the narrative when it comes to Monat and Black people and our community and our hair, because we do know these clean products really do work for our hair, and we have such a wide variety as opposed to, you know, going to the drugstore and having that little section and it's just like this here, this is what you got, here's your options, and just feeling like we have to go with that. So that kind of segues into our next training, which is next week. Same time, same place, with our special guest, Cece, talking about texture and a training about our hair and texture and so on and so forth. So before I introduce our artist performance, we do have a giveaway. We're doing a giveaway after every single one of these calls. So there'll be 4 giveaways. And how it's going to work is at the end of each call, we are going to have an emoji. So this week's emoji is the money bag emoji. And how it will work is comment the money bag emoji under the flyer. So on IG, you can go to the flyer. We'll have a flyer each week for each call. You have to be following our page and you have to comment the money bag emoji under the post. So that will be open from now until tomorrow night at 11:59 Eastern, and then the winner will be drawn and announced on Sunday by end of the day. So super excited about that. Definitely participate for being here. We just want to, you know, show our appreciation for you guys being on this call and supporting us. So with that being said, I want to introduce our special guest, our artist performance, Denzel Wilson.
Hey, I just want to clap it up for that beautiful presentation. I'm over here learning a lot. But yeah, first and foremost, I just want to, you know, thank y'all for having me on your platform and inviting me to this private training, this private meeting. Shout out to my sister, Ashley Wilson. You know, I love her very much. So yeah, appreciate y'all. You know, my name is Denzel Wilson. I'm an R&B artist and I'm an entrepreneur. And, you know, I figured today I'm going to give y'all, you know, some vibes, you know what I'm saying, a little flair to the training and everything like that. So first, I'm actually going to showcase this art piece. It's a music video. It's called Wine and Dine. It's a song that I did, and it's also paired with a visual as well that I worked on. So we're going to showcase that first. And I think it's super on theme because I'm really all about, you know, pushing that natural. And I think it's just a beautiful thing how all of you guys are coming together as powerful women and really just taking that initiative to just, you know, spread light and spread awareness on Black people, Black women in a beauty space. So that's something that I really push forward as well. So yeah, let's whoever's hosting it, let's showcase this music video. Y'all vibe out, you know what I'm saying? And let's check it out. Is the volume coming through?
Let me figure out the difficulties. One sec, people. I'm sorry.
Okay, cool. And yeah, you know, after we showcase this, I'm gonna go into a little acapella too from the next project that I'm working on. So I'm pretty sure y'all will enjoy it for real. And while she gets that up, I'm just gonna tell y'all a little bit about what the song is about. It's a topic of romance. As my sister Ashley Wilson was saying earlier, you know, artists like us really have that influence on the culture. And it just so happens that I feel like a lot of the material out right now isn't really highlighting that romance and it's kind of putting us in a different direction. So I really wanted to make a song that highlighted the romance and, you know, courtmanship of a woman. And, you know, it's interesting because everybody in the cast was Black too. You'll actually notice in the video, the main chick has a natural hair, kind of, you know, makeup on too, but with the natural look as well. So, you know, it's super on theme for everything that's going on. just a little introduction on that.
I may just have to quick look it up on YouTube on its own.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We could do that. It's just Denzel Wilson, Wine and Dine. There we go.
Can you guys hear it or no? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I might just stop sharing the screen and go back to it.
Oh, it's all good. So this, if the audio doesn't come up, we could I'll just go into the acapella, and y'all could check that out on your own time, I guess. But yeah, so this song that I have. Okay, we're gonna try one more time.
Coming through or no?
Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
I don't know why it's not showing or having the music go through. I'm sorry.
Maddie, make me host. I'll do it. The only so with sharing on Zoom, I learned this earlier. You have to when you know how you press share in the bottom left hand corner, there's always a box that you click and you have to press share computer sound. So if you don't press that specific box, then like no sound will come, which is wild. I'm a Microsoft Teams girl, so I'm with like 9 to 5. So don't worry about it. It's all technical difficulties. It all happens, but I got y'all. Let me share. And Maddie, thank you so much for troubleshooting and everything like that. I got y'all 1 second.
All right, it's all good. We got a little information on what the song was about in the meantime. So
Exactly. A little chop it up.
well, now enjoy. I think it's frozen on the screen.
It's what? Hold on. My bad, y'all. I am in Florida right now, so I guess the Wi-Fi is a little choppy. We're gonna run it back 3 times a charm. 1 second. Okay, y'all can see this? Okay.
tripping. I mean, she fine, but that's besides the point.
Just that's mine. I didn't have the chance to say hi. But Shawty used to roll through the night. Girl, that's why tonight I know that you want to. Just that's mine. I didn't have a chance to say hi. But Shawty used to roll through the night. Girl, that's why tonight I know that you want to. Back in the days you found a real one. Back in the days you really feel. Back in the days, oh baby. Back in the days it was just different. But not to making that for vintage. I'ma pull up in the 96 with the limo, 10 chrome rims, babe. Gotta keep it classic. I know that you want to. I'ma make you fall in love when I start to grill and shaft it up. Yeah, girl, I could cook. Shawty nature on the rocks. Final stacked up, go ahead, is one. I'm next to the books. We gon' have the music loud with the phones turned down. Ain't nobody finna come next, but tonight I know that you want to. You just as mine. I didn't have the chance to say hi. But Shawty used to roll through the night. Girl, that's why tonight I know that you want to. You just as mine. I didn't have the chance to say hi. But Shawty used to roll through the night. Girl, that's why tonight I know that you want to.
All right. Oh, I have to unmute you now. 1 second. Let me just find you. Okay, there you go.
All right, so I hope y'all enjoyed those vibes. That was a little art piece that I worked on back in the day. And yes, I call my music and visuals art pieces because it's all art. And I'm not sure if y'all saw the movie Boomerang, but that was kind of my inspiration for the video. It's like a movie with Eddie Murphy, Halle Berry, Robin Givens. But yeah, we got to bring that love back in 2023, and and just spread awareness and highlight on Black people in general. We create all the culture anyway. So, but yeah, with that being said, the next joint I'm gonna hop into is this acapella I'm gonna do. It's actually from this upcoming project that I've been working on. It's called Lofty Conversation. And basically what the album Lofty Conversation is about is really, talking a conversation with the people, a conversation with myself, a conversation, with the people in the song. And it's really about describing how intimacy with the man and woman should be through God's perspective, and it's like real R&B-ish. Like we bringing back all the R&B and all the neo soul on that project. So this is a little selection from that that I'm about to sing right now called Higher. It's just all a cappella, so definitely peep the words. Is that I can't front you fire. Tell me what your name is. You say that it's desire. Got a ring to it. I'ma hit your line, boo. Any other shorty, dog, and they just won't do. To be honest with you, girl, you changed my program. Trying to lay up with you, bumping all the slow jams. You just kill the competition, leaving no chance. I might kill the kitty, wait first. Girl, I wanna take you higher to clouds, baby. Love is our desire. I'm not waiting, cause I want you. Any other woman, darling, they just won't. Girl, I wanna take you higher to clouds, baby. Love is our desire. I'm not waiting, cause I want you. Any other woman, darling, they just won't. Girl, I wanna take you higher to clouds, baby. Love is our desire. I'm not waiting, cause I want you. Any other woman, darling, they just won't. Girl, I wanna take you higher. Clouds, baby. Love is our desire. I'm not waiting, won't you? Any other woman, darling, they just won't do. I wanna take you higher. Yeah, so that's a little something right there, a little snippet. But yeah, you know, if you feeling it, definitely tap in. And once again, I really appreciate y'all for having me on this private meeting, this private training. Shout out to y'all. Y'all are really taking initiative and just, you know, like I said, really just highlighting Black people in the beauty industry, you know, pushing that natural. I love it. So I'm really thankful. And, you know, shout out to my sister Ashley. I love her.
Tell
So
them
that means I love
where they
y'all.
could find your music at.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So if you go on my Instagram page, Denzel Wilson, and hit that link, everything's there. So I'll drop it in the chat right now. And yeah, you know, I'm definitely a supporter of Monet. I use all of the products. So
Period.
you know,
Wait, can you say that one more time?
yeah. I said I'm a supporter of Monet. I use all the products. As you can see, it got me right. You know, the beard ain't connect yet, but we working on that. And so once again, I appreciate all y'all for all the hard work that you're doing. And I just want to say again too, like this is that entrepreneur game, and I know sometimes it's those ups and downs. Like I definitely understand the sales. So just giving that encouragement to keep going and just remember that what y'all are doing is definitely important for just the culture and just society, because y'all are really, you know, spreading that light on Black people and beauty in the industry, because it's just like me being an artist and me being around different scenes and everything like that, there is a lot of shade towards Black people. There is a lot of shade, you know, trying to hold us down and everything like that. So just y'all doing what y'all do every day, and just pushing that within Monet, I think it's a beautiful thing. So definitely a big shout out to y'all. And y'all got me right over here. I got the oil right here. You know what I'm saying? I got it on me right here. So I appreciate y'all.
Thank you so
I
much.
didn't even drop my thing in the chat. It's
Oh yeah, drop the name in there. But thank you everyone for joining part 1. This was a really good kickoff call, I think, to the whole series. Very heavy with the education, but much needed. And like Bethany said, next week, same place, same time for our textured hair training. And we also are going to post this on our YouTube channel. So once that is ready, we will send out the link and then blast it to y'all teams.
Sure.
All right, bye y'all. Have a good night.